Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are here on International Hospitality Women's Day. It's Thursday, September 21st, 2023. And so we're having a great day and hoping you are too. So, and I bet you're excited about our next guest as well. Well, I'm very excited to share with you that Virginia Arana is going to be with us here. She is the Director of Meetings and Conventions at the Mexico City Tourism Trust in Mexico City. Now, this businesswoman has done it all. She has extensive experience. Let me just read a couple of these. She has a BA in International Relations, an MA in Marketing, an MSc, which I need for her to explain, in Transport and Maritime Management. She's been working in the industry for a long time. She's recognized and supported by so many of the industries like MPI, PCMA, ASAE, and the Federation of International Associations. I mean, she has had quite a journey, and we want to hear more. So please welcome Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
Hello, Deborah. How are you?
Great. Now that you are here, we are rocking and rolling. So excited for you to be here on International Hospitality Women's Day. And first, what does that mean to you?
Well, first of all, I'm very honored for this invitation. Thank you so much. I think we have a lot to celebrate in the Hospitality Women's Day. Here in Mexico, women participate very actively in the tourism industry. And it's actually a great moment for us because we have in Mexico City a minister of tourism, a female minister of tourism, the general director of the Mexico Tourism Trust. She's also a lady. And in next year, we are actually going to have two female candidates for presidency in Mexico. So I think it's a very good moment for women. We still have a lot to do. We still have a lot to push regarding protecting and developing more women in different levels. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited to talk to you and to your team and everybody this day.
Well, our viewers are very excited to hear from you too, because Mexico is a fantastic country in itself. It's beautiful. It's got a lot going on. And I know that you're actually there for a show today as well that's huge in the meetings and events industry. But as far as the uniqueness of Mexico, what does it have to offer for meetings and events and tourism in general?
Yes, well, Mexico City is on top of the cities in Latin America that host international meetings. And actually, I'm right now at a great venue, Centro City Banamex, which is one of the best ones in Latin America. Here we have hosted very important congresses like the AIDS conference some years ago, which was for 30,000 people. But the city has turned into a great and secure destination for impact events, citywide events. We host the Formula One race, which is a tremendous spectacle. It's something that all the city participates. And last year for this event, we hosted 400,000 people, visitors. So it was crazy. Of course, this is a city that is also very complex because of the high population, but it works. The government has done a lot for to protect the environment, to make a safe city for events. The former mayor is an environmentalist. So we, in the last 4 years, we've had 30 million trees and plants planted around the city and recovered parks. And the Xochimilco Ecological Park is also at its best. So this is something very important for us, that the city has to work in general in all these aspects so we can host international visitors for meetings or tourism.
Well, and I would imagine the infrastructure that is happening, not only for the meetings and events industry, but for regular business meetings and tourism and vacationers. Tell us about the infrastructure.
Right. Mexico City has around more than 60,000 hotel rooms in around 800 hotels, and more than 50% are 5- and 4-star hotel chains. And this is important because most of the events we host in Mexico City are corporate, and that has to do because of the facilities of all these hotels have for meetings. So, of course, we have these big venues for exhibits and congresses and for the associations market, but it is mostly corporate. And I think that we are eventually will be receiving more incentives because the city has it all. Actually, that's our slogan. And it has great attractions, tourism attractions, but this is the hub for education in Mexico. So that's also a very good incentive, or that can be, included in the incentive programs. So those are some of the important things that help us bring international events to Mexico City.
Yes, absolutely. And again, I just love Mexico. Mexico City is just incredible. It's been a number of years being there pre-pandemic, but I hear it's just booming and just growing, and that's good to hear.
Yes, Mexico City is also, as I said, we have to create this environment of respect, inclusion, diversity, plus innovation, and having the city connected in many senses. It's very important. It's actually a city that gives the example for other destinations, not only Mexico, but in Latin America.
Yeah, absolutely. Latin America, we don't want to forget them either. That's true. So we know, this whole theme is hospitality in crisis. And we know recently there was a hurricane that really developed in Mexico and heading to the United States, mainly the California side. Did that have any impact, or maybe there were some wildfires or any other disasters that have come up to deal with and maybe impacted the industry?
Well, of course, all those natural disasters always impact the meetings and events industry. However, Mexico City does not receive hurricanes. That could happen in the Pacific or in the Caribbean. But if we speak about, what really challenges the city are the earthquakes. However, Mexico City has a very sophisticated system that there is this alarm that helps if the earthquake starts, if the epicenter is in Mexico City, the alarms are turned on 50 seconds before it hits. So we have 50 seconds to save our lives or get out from the building. And you cannot believe how much time that is. That's when you actually, we are going to do I don't remember the name in English, but this exercise of we have to do it to prevent any lives be taken. So this is very important because not all destinations in the world that are hit by earthquakes have it. This was invented in Mexico, and this has helped to prevent many lives, to lose many lives.
Yeah, that's right. Earthquakes definitely can pop up here and there, and no matter what crisis Mexico might go through, I would imagine the impact is there, not just meetings and events, but tourism as well, and business meetings and things like that. And do you recall a time that did impact the business and maybe even your personal life? Do you recall that happening before, or is there a cycle for this, or do you expect it? Do you prepare for it?
We are prepared somehow. With at home we have, especially if when at night you have to have some clothes your clothing prepared, because you can not get out in pajamas or even less, so less clothes. So you have to be prepared in that sense. You have to have a safety bag, which is your passport or your documents of your home, and that's something that and in a place that you can grab very quickly. I cannot imagine. I don't have children, but I guess that there are priorities for other people. The kids, the babies, or even the puppies at home. So I'm not too sure if we are always prepared. But what I can tell you is that Mexicans are very strong in solidarity, in helping in any of these disasters. We see the people outside the streets and trying to help in any way they can. And I experienced many years ago a hurricane that hit Cancun very strongly. And I was working in Yucatan at that time, and the Cancun airport was closed. So we were receiving all the tourists from Cancun, and we had to. I was working at the convention bureau at that time, and we were delivering food, pizzas, hamburgers. Not blankets, because that's a very hot area, but people felt well. That there were people taking care of them before they could fly back to their homes. So that was a very, not shocking, but it's when you get really human. I mean, you need to help. You don't think about anything else.
Yeah, that is so true. You don't think of anything else. And all day we've been hearing from guests like you that have had to deal with some kind of emergency or preparation or deal with some kind of risk. And we do the best we can at the same time. And you mentioned it earlier, you're so right. You never really are prepared fully. There's always something that might, throw you a curveball, but you do the best you can. And like you said, have the clothes available and things like that, because you just never know. You just never know. And we want to make sure that every country is safe, especially when it comes to the hospitality industry. But Mexico, you're right, very strong people, very strong-willed, and survivors to the best they possibly can. So, is there anything about Mexico you would like to share with the hospitality industry that you've never had that message to put out there before? Is there anything that you'd like to say?
Well, come to Mexico City and enjoy it.
Exactly. Great margaritas, great food.
Right. Have some tacos. It's the best place to have them, to enjoy our gastronomy and the music and all and the people. It's really this not only Mexico City, but Mexico is always happy to welcome all our international visitors.
Yeah, they are very wonderful, wonderful people. So with, International Hospitality Women's Day, can you tell us what women that might be starting in the industry or have been in the industry, is there anything you'd like to say to the women of the industry? Is there any tips or anything that you would like to encourage them with or anything like that you'd like to share?
Sure. Well, I'm in a country where we still have the macho culture. And in the tourism industry and in the meetings industry, even though it's still young, we started being more visible like 20 years ago. And now we have like an MPI Mexico chapter, a PCMA Mexico chapter, and other local associations. Many of the ones that started these chapters were men. And I always told my friends, women, to be part of the board of directors, to have a voice, to participate, to be more active, because there are so many women in tourism and in the meetings industry, but we didn't see any women. So when I had the opportunity to become the PCMA Mexico chapter president, I was very busy and I really didn't feel it was the right moment. And I said to myself, this is the time that you can be an example for other women. I mean, you have to find the time and do your best. So I've been enjoying it very much. I got the chapter because of the pandemic with very few members now. We are 90 members. I enjoy, doing all the activities for the members or for the planners, for the suppliers, delivering education through all my friends in the industry that voluntarily participate. So this is very important because the PCMA Mexico chapter hadn't had a woman for 10 years. And I have been the first one, and I keep encouraging all my friends in the industry to participate because there are many leaders. Of course, all my friends, my girlfriends are in very important positions here in the Centro Citibanamex. It's a lady, it's a director, and in other companies and in other destinations. They are the heads, but they don't get involved as men in the associations world, and they have to do it. And that's what I always tell them. They have to participate more because they have a lot to offer.
Yeah, and when you participate, you gather experience. So I love that tip. Definitely get involved, speak up, and get involved. Just bring your expertise, your talents to the table. So I love that, definitely. Now, how can people get a hold of you? We do have some information as far as your website and your email. Any other way that people can get in contact with you? Social media, maybe? Or
yes, I'm in my email is VARANAP, and then yes, but I'm in social media. I believe I have some followers, but I try my best to be to showcase everything we do. But of course, at the Mexico City Tourism Trust, it is a public website, and my picture, my phone, everything is there. So happy to help in Mexico City.
Well, you have been a great representative as Miss Mexico, and we thank you so much for being with us while we interrupt your time at the trade show. But it sounds like it's really fun and fantastic there. But we can't thank you enough to share everything that your brilliancy and your beauty. We are just here to celebrate you. And again, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. This has been great. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And come to Mexico City.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, there you go. We just heard from Virginia, and isn't she a delight? I just totally adore her, and what she has accomplished as a businesswoman is incredible. So if there's anybody that you want to ask questions for, contact Virginia, because she obviously has been doing it right and for a long time at the same time. So let me bring in our co-host, Rich, just so he can do a recap of Virginia's statements. What'd you think?
Well, first of all, we got an invite to Mexico.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
once, but twice. So, there's some hot tamales. There's some good food going on.
Yes. They always have great food, always colorful, very, always celebrating.
Well, and really the interesting thing is we were talking about, hospitality in crisis. It was very interesting. You were talking about what they have and don't have it. That they actually have an alarm system. They actually have a way to notify people because they have massive crowds. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I've gone to Mexico several times, and they love their soccer and their stadiums are packed. And she was talking about other events with massive sized crowds. So if something happens, they do have an alert system that they're able to activate. And that's different than a lot of places. They don't have an early alert system. And she says, we've gotten used to be able to, I hate the word, but pivot, move. They're able to get people to really move on that way. And it is an international destination. So they're dealing with the languages, the airport, so many different things. So it's not just one way of doing it. When you deal with massive international crowds, there are going to be communication gaps. And just doing hospitality, look, I don't speak anything with English, so I'm trouble for anyone I walk out anywhere internationally. But you start having those other languages all come in. How do you do that with these giant crowds? But they do a great job because people keep coming back and they keep coming back.
Yep. Because you know why? They are hospitable. They're hospitable people. And you and I both have experienced that in Mexico. I mean, I love going to Mexico, and I feel like a queen sometimes because of the way they treat you. And I just have a great time. And they're always willing to take you somewhere to, to showcase their city, their town, their country. They're very proud, very proud.
Yes.
And that just says a lot to that country and to the people that are there.
Well, and I also want to highlight, she was very pro-woman leadership. She was talking about the Ministry of Tourism, happens to be a female. There's some other females now rising up to high-level positions. And at the end, she was talking about, I'm going to give a challenge. I want more ladies to step up, to get involved, and be an active part of it. It was great to hear that even though she's reached what she has, she's trying to get more females involved. And this is International Women's Hospitality Day. What a better challenge to call it out and say, we need more of you.
Yep. Today's the day. Today's the day to celebrate and to make it, more awareness happening around the world for women in hospitality. And she did such a great job of that. So love her advocacy for women. And we want women to come into the industry, and we want women that are already in the industry to succeed. And again, if anybody wants to contact Virginia, do so, because I'm sure she would take you under her wing for sure.
And also she stressed Mexico City. We love going to the beaches. We love going to the ocean. We love doing that stuff. But she really stressed there's a lot of activity here. So yeah, go enjoy your beaches, but get to the big city and go enjoy the big city life.
Yeah. So we've really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And we know we'll be hearing from her and Mexico even more so in the coming years for sure, because there's so much infrastructure being built down there and growing. So I enjoyed that conversation with her. She was a delight.
Great job. I mean, fun. Where else are we going to go today? We got more places still to punch our travel log, right?
Exactly. Let's keep going. We're still traveling around the globe here, and we're quick. And we're stopping by with some great guests on the show, and we're not done yet. So everyone, stay tuned. We'll be right back.